All right, hello everyone, and today we're in this video we're going to continue our exercise in Loa and Roblox. So today, not today, in this video, we're going to try something out in the server script service. So we're going to the server script service. We're going to add a new script. This script's maybe a voting election script. Okay, and that script we're going to get the player service. So players is equals to game dot get services players. Then local teams. So players. We don't have to. Do we need to assign? Yeah, we need to put a local, right? So why isn't that? It doesn't have any. What's this? What is this? Type. Okay, add a new function for assigning teams and include a parameter for a new player. Connect the function to the player's added event. So we're going to create a function, assign team, then this is the parameter, and then players dot player added. Once the player added, connect assign team. So to assign team, um, you need to have a local name dot player dot name, new player dot name, and then we're going to assign a teams dot name is equals to red. Teams dot name teams dot name equals red. Is it correct? Alright. Print name, and then is on teams dot name, and then put team, right? Period. Right? So let's try. Part one is not a valid member of Dutch. What's this? Player added. Have you seen any team? Oh, okay. Mascot power red team. Why is this no red team? Team is on. Is on. Right. You can add like that. So this is how string interpolation looks like in Loa. Okay, max gold power is on red team, right? So, right, so this one here, assign team. So, max gold power, then red team, but we still need to, I believe, yeah, do something more to that. All right, so working with dictionaries, returning lives from table, vote them off the island. All right, so okay, vote them off the island. Okay, in this, try it yourself. You're going to pretend to vote somebody off an island. The end goal of this exercise is to take the name of every player in the experience and then create a way everyone can vote on who should be kicked off the imaginary island. To start, begin mentally breaking down the problems you need to solve to create this script. As you start working on longer scripts, a to-do list of what needs to be done can be helpful. Here are some problems to be solved for. There needs to be enough time for all of the players to join before voting. Each player's name needs to be represented in some way that players can interact with. The votes for each person needs to be kept track of. The results needs to be shown at the end of voting. There are other things you could possibly solve for, but this is enough of a list to work with for now. The first problem will be solved by allowing players to click a button when they're ready to begin voting. In a more complex experience, the voting might happen after a series of mini games or something like that. To solve the second problem, once the voting starts, a new set of buttons representing each player will appear. Okay, for this example, the names of the proximity prompts are important. Differently named prompts will be used to do different things. Right, so number one, set up a part to act as the first button that starts the voting. Alright, so we're going to insert a proximity prompt named vote start. So where are we going to put that? Start vote. Right, so we're going to create a button. Where are we going to put that? Alright, so here we're going to maybe a cylinder. Make this cylinder bigger. Right, so um, oops. Move the cylinder. This is your button. Let's put a color to it. Let's put like that. Okay. So this one, we're going to name this Start Vote Button. And in the Start Vote button, we're going to add a script. And the script's name will be Start Vote. Oh no, it's a proximity prompt, right? Yeah, it's not a script. It's a proximity prompt. So the prompt is start vote. Okay, start vote. Set hold duration to 1. Hold duration to 1, right? And then set up a second part to act as the button that holds a player's name. All right, so that will be. Well, why is it? Okay, so we're first going to put this one here. Create another part, still a cylinder. The color might be a blue, this blue, right? And then scale, right? Okay, and then uh, name this just a button and put a proximity prompt on that button, on that part, and then the name of the proximity prompt is add vote, right? So Set the hold duration to 0.05. 0.05. Okay, once set up, move the button to server storage. Alright, so let's move the button and we cut this cut and paste this to server storage. Okay, paste into, right? So it's already there. Let's move this up. So where is it now? Is this how it looks like if it's in server storage? How about this? How about this? So okay, so next is okay, so once set up, move the button to server storage where copies can be made. Do not move the start button. Do not move the button vote. That needs to be where people can see it, right? So the button to start the vote stays in workspace, whereas the button that add vote goes into server storage. So, what is the purpose of server storage? So, in Roblox, what is server storage and what is its purpose? Okay, so in Roblox, server storage is a special service container or a container that is used to store objects only accessible by the server. It does not replicate to clients, meaning players on the client side cannot see or access its contents. Purpose of server storage. It is primarily used to store assets, scripts, and data that should be hidden from players, such as weapons, tools, or models not yet needed in the game world. Sensitive server side logic or data. Preloaded assets to be cloned and used during gameplay. Why use server storage? Security. Prevents clients from tampering with or seeing sensitive objects. Efficiency keeps the client's memory usage lower by not replicating unnecessary items. Organization keeps reusable assets centralized and tidy. Right, so I believe in the web development world, this is like lazy loading the scripts, the objects. So, can you please relate this concept in Angular? Okay, so let's see. Okay, sure. Here's how Roblox server storage concept relates to something in Angular. Roblox server storage stores objects, assets only accessible to the server, not visible or accessible to clients, used for security, organizations, and server-side only logic. Angular equivalent servers, services, private variables, or environment files. In Angular, there's no exact one-to-one equivalent of server storage because Angular is client-side, but similar concept apply when you want to keep certain data or logic hidden or protected from direct access by users or components. Here are some parallels. Services with private data encapsulation. Angular services can hold data or business logic. They can, is that correct? Backend. In a full stack Angular app, truly secure data or operations are kept on the backend server, which the Angular frontend cannot access directly. The Angular app only interacts with the backend via HTTP calls like REST APIs. Okay, so does the Roblox client apps interact with server storage using HTTP? Great question. Actually, Roblox does not interact with server storage via HTTP at all. How Roblox client server communication really works. Roblox games run on Roblox own game engine and networking system, not via HTTP. Server storage exists only on the game server. It is completely hidden and inaccessible from the client side. To communicate between client and server, Roblox uses a special system called remote events and remote functions, not HTTP requests. How client access server storage access indirectly. If a client needs something that's stored in server storage, the server must explicitly send it to the client by cloning the asset from server storage, moving it to a client visible container like replicated storage, or directly into the player's character or backpack. Or sending data or instructions through remote events to the client so the client can respond accordingly. Roblox communication summary. Why not HTTP for why no HTTP for server storage? HTTP is typically used for web services without Roblox, like fetching data from external APIs. Roblox client server communication is real time and built into the engine for low latency gameplay. Using remote events functions keeps communication efficient and secure within the game environment. Uh, so, so what um, communication protocol? What networking protocol is Roblox using for its client server communication? Okay, so Roblox uses a proprietary custom networking protocol built into its game engine for client server communication. It's not based on standard protocols like plain HTTP or WebSockets, but is designed specifically for real time multiplayer games. Key points about Roblox networking protocol: low level, efficient, and optimized for real time gaming. Roblox networking system prioritizes low latency and bandwidth efficiency to handle fast-paced interactions between many players. Built on UDP. Alright, so that's it. UDP, User Datagram Protocol. Although Roblox doesn't publicly document all technical details, it is known to primarily use UDP rather than TCP for real-time gameplay transport because UDP is faster and better suited for time-sensitive updates like player movements, physics, etc. Reliable and unreliable messaging. Roblox supports both reliable messages, guarantee delivery ordered, and unreliable messages, faster but no guarantees. This allows them to optimize what data needs to be guaranteed, like inventory changes, and what can be sent best effort, like player positions. Remote events and remote functions. These are the API abstractions in Lua for sending messages between server and client and server. Internally, they use Roblox networking protocol but provides a simple developer interface, encrypted and secure. Roblox protocol includes security measures to prevent cheating and protect game integrity. All right, so that's it. It's somehow using UDP, not TCP and HTTP to communicate between client and server. So back to what we're trying to do. We put the button in the server side, server storage, and now we're going to continue. As you walk through the exercise, this use multiple tables, both arrays and dictionaries. Newcomers to the experience can be added to an array named active players. Right? Once voting starts, anyone can who receives a vote will be added to a dictionary along with how many votes they have. Set up the buttons. Remember the different problems mentioned earlier that needs to be solved for. As you start working on larger scripts, it's better to break the script into sections with individual functions designed to solve unique problems. You start out by getting the names of all the players and creating buttons for each player. In server script service, add a new script. Where is it? Add a new script. Okay, so we're going to add a new script. Create variables for the following. Okay, so server storage, um, local server storage, game, oops, get service, server storage, then local proxy prompt service equals to game get service proximity prompt service, then player service game uh, player service, oh no, players. And then local voting duration is equals to 30, local active players equals like that, and then local votes equals like that. Okay, at this point you start breaking your code into smaller solutions. Create a new function that adds players to the active players array when they are added to the experience. Use the player added event to call the function. Okay, so in this service, the player added, we're going to connect the on player added, right? So we're going to create this function. Okay, so local function, right? Alright, so we're going to add parameters player, then table dot insert to the active players the player, right? So this is server script service. Alright, so this will be run in the server. So when every time a player is added, we're going to save it to this array. Okay, so create a new function that creates a button for each player instance. All right, so for each player instance on player added, we're going to on player added insert, and then we're going to make a new function, local function, make buttons. Right, so make buttons for index player in pairs, active players, do this local new booth is equals server storage dot I think buttons, right? Then clone, right? So we clone what we have, save this one, we clone that to this new booth, and then new booth dot parent is the workspace. So if we created Why is my son crying? All right. So where are we going to attach this make button? So make buttons, and we're going to continue this one here. Right, so um, here local proximity prompt is equals to new booth dot find first child, which is a proximity prompt. Okay, so new booth, and in the new booth where we wanted to get a child of this button, which is a proximity prompt. So this is the proximity prompt that we wanted to access. Local, then we create a new variable local player equals to player dot name, then proximity prompt, then proximity prompt that action text. Hey, I'm recording. Player name. Position is equals to position. Sorry guys, my wife just came in to dictate how my life should be. Part. And then new booth dot position. What?
What script are you doing?
Huh?
What what is that script?
I'm writing a script. I'm studying.
What's the
Oh, na.
what's the script?
Oh, kuha dia. Na dito sa bag.
Papa, what's the script?
Nasa bag lang nga.
Papa, where's the script?
This script is about making vote for voting. Okay, wait. Alright, so we're going to rush this because we are going to celebrate something again. We're unending celebration. Alright, so local position, spending all my money. I don't mind spending every day. Down the corner in the pouring rain. Right, distance, position. Then when are we going to? Okay, so we'll just continue this later because I am needed there. Right, so cool. Thanks. Bye bye.